here's my overall take on the text, and then we'll read specific ones. I think they make Blake Lively look like she was conniving behind the scenes for the entire time. She was actively working to marshal forces against Justin, whether it was her co-stars, her husband, A-list Hollywood talent, Taylor Swift, all of whom she wanted to sort of generate buzz behind her to say her cut of the movie, because Brian Friedman is Justin's lawyer, along with some others, that Brian's claim that she was basically just wresting control away from him, and these fake sexual harassment allegations were just part of it. Like she was a bitch. She tried to take over the movie. She got a bunch of negative publicity because she was promoting her hairline products when she's pushing a movie about domestic violence, and there was a backlash in the press. And then she got her hands on some PR people who work with Justin on their text exchanges about her, just talking about what a nightmare she was and how they were enjoying some of her bad publicity. But she hasn't, as far as I understand, been able to prove that they were the genesis of the bad publicity. That's her theory, but she's going to have to prove that at court. The negative text celebrating her getting bad press doesn't mean that they caused it all. In fact, he says he didn't cause any of it. She caused it. But what you see here is a woman who is determined to wrest control of the film from him, as Brian's alleging, who is doing her best with her A-list celebrities to push support for her cut of the film, which normally an actress doesn't even get, for her to kind of threaten Justin in some texts about her, her dragons, Ryan Reynolds, her husband, and Taylor Swift, which we've seen before, but then some longer versions of that. And then there are the texts with her co-stars. This guy, Brandon, is it Sklenar? Sklenar. He was in The Housemaid and quite dreamy. I'm just going to note for the record. He was a very good looking guy. Her text with him and her text with this other woman, is it Rachel Scott? I have them here someplace. Show a woman who is determined to get bad things said about Justin Baldoni. Let me start with Taylor Swift because that's what everybody wants to hear. Okay. First, she gets it in the New York Times that she had filed a complaint against him with the California Civil Rights Department, saying that he sexually harassed her. And she's thrilled that she's getting this bad publicity for Justin Baldoni. And Taylor Swift texts her on December 21st after it hits, "You won. You did it. You effing," except it's not effing, it's spelled out, "help so many people who won't have to go through this ever again." And then she says, "You guys don't understand how rare this is to have proof and to take the perfect steps to bring that truth to light." Lively replied, "Like, my God." Then, "I love you so much," she writes to Taylor. "I would not be okay through any of this if it weren't for you." And Lively,
by the way, Megyn, can I just say one thing? The idea of celebrating filing a complaint with the California department is, you can be we have a code section called 5150 where you're a danger to yourself or others. I've seen so many of these complaints. Anybody can file one. That it's meaningless.
Of course, but we all know this and the New York Times article.
Right.
And apparently Blake is on record in the case as having denied that she ever discussed the New York Times article with Taylor Swift. But this certainly could be a reference to that. Right. I mean, you did it. You called this attention to it. She's thrilled. And what are the odds that Taylor Swift only knew about the civil rights complaint and completely missed the New York Times article,
right,
breaking the news of it?
She's monitoring the California Civil Rights Administrative Act.
The docket.
Right, the docket, but not,
right.
But not New York Times. I missed that totally.
Exactly. So it seems clear. I think that the reason it's relevant is it appears that Blake may have misled in saying she never discussed any of that with Taylor Swift. Then there's some earlier texts during the course of the movie where Lively asked Taylor Swift for help. She referred to Baldoni as the doofus director of my movie. She described him as a clown who, quote, thinks he's a writer now. She asked Swift to endorse the revised script she was proposing. Even though she hadn't read it, she texted to Taylor Swift, "You don't have to read, of course." Then Brian alleges Swift agreed to do Lively's bidding, texting Lively, "I'll do anything for you." Lively's side disputed that she asked Swift to endorse the script without reading it, only that she, quote, hoped she would. I mean, here's the actual text. It reads, let's see. I can't find it, but that's an accurate representation of it. Okay, now there's more. This is Taylor. This is Blake texting to Taylor. And the date is May 19th, 2024. She's talking about some showing of the film. She writes, by the way, I have so much to tell you. The author Colleen, she authored the book that the movie was based on, reached out to me because Justin is on an internal smear campaign trying to get his edit through. She was horrified and reached out on her own to talk to me. Turns out he effing lied. She's not Baha'i, which is his religion, never has been. She's not friends with him at all. She actually hates him. She was his safety net all along. Meanwhile, he shut her out and wouldn't include her in anything and told her she had no voice or value, yet paraded her around in front of the cameras for goodwill and told us all his decision that he got pushback on were all her ideas. It's wild, she writes. She flew to New York where I screened my cut for the first time yesterday. It killed in the room. Then she says to Taylor, Bradley, I think meaning Cooper, came. He watched it twice. He's been an absolute effing hero. He has made me feel so good about the cut. Matt and Lucy Damon saw it to give notes and instead just wrote Tom Rothman to try to push my edit through without a bake-off with Justin, which is also what Colleen is pushing for. It's wild and crazy times. Taylor responds, no one should ever get into a war of wills with you. And I'm so excited to see it. Then they talk about how Taylor texted that Justin was a dope to allow her song to be used in the trailer for the film because she's Team Blake. And the two little mean girls have a giggle about how dopey Justin was to accept Blake Lively's suggestion that Taylor
I don't. By the way,
just nasty at every turn.
By the way, I don't disagree with that. He was a dope for allowing that because it was a improvised explosive device in his own project.
Megyn, I don't know about these texts. I don't know that I see them the same way you do. Okay, I do welcome that. She's trying to grab people to be on her team and she's got a meritless argument about things being real tough on set, but she's just looking to create. Yeah, I get all that. But equally possible is that she is going through some real challenges. And like anybody who goes through challenges, and I think, maybe when you went through challenges at Fox News or whenever we go through challenges, you definitely want to empower your friends to help you, to lean on for support. That's what it looks like to me she's doing.
Wow.
And she's reaching out not only to Taylor Swift to help her, but also to, as the reference made clear, Matt Damon.
What's wrong with that?
There's a May 2024 text. I'm just filling out the record,
sir. You go right ahead.
Between Lively, her husband Ryan Reynolds, and the Damons. Reynolds asking the Damons, Matt and his wife Lucy, to watch the film. Lively then begging them to do so, saying the movie, quote, nearly killed me. Matt Damon replies, oh, and then she says Justin's in a cult. Matt Damon replies, we'll give you any help we can. And if this experience hasn't totally destroyed your soul, Blake, you should come direct your next movie at Artist Equity. We're kind of a cult, but a really nice one. Lucy Damon said it was insane the power this guy has with no experience to back him. After being told that Baldoni claimed during filming to have been able to speak to Lively's dead father, Lucy Damon replied, what in the actual F? I'm fascinated by this creep. I think you should do a movie about this guy. Lively replied, I already have the name of my doc, Lights, Cult, Action. Reynolds chimed in saying he'd never seen anything like it, that Baldoni is a sociopathic faux-minist, because Baldoni's got some like feminist blog and podcast. And then we had the infamous My Dragons are Taylor Swift and Reynolds, and they fight for me. And, they'll fight for you too, but really they're mine. Part of it is that she's poisoning the well on the set about him, Mark Geragos. She's making sure on the set and off the set, everyone hates this guy, and she wants to make sure he will never work again. And her whole complaint in this lawsuit is that he was super mean by using PR people to protect him. But meanwhile, you see her smear campaign against him in writing, black and white, to some of the biggest players in Hollywood.
So this is a perfect example of the Marks reasonable minds can differ, because I can't, and I make a living out of trying to see the other side. I don't see the other side here. I see these texts. It's obvious, at least to me, as to what's happening here. She's marshaling her friends and others to try to lean on him and to take him out.
A new year means new financial goals, like making sure your savings are secure and diversified. Will this be the year you decide to talk to somebody from Birch Gold Group? You know, you've been thinking about it. They use an educated approach with a deep understanding of macroeconomics. There are forces pushing the dollar lower right now and gold higher, which is why they believe every American should own physical gold. So until January 30th, if you are a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, just text MK to the number 989898. Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you are still eligible for a rebate of up to $10,000. Consider making right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate of up to $10,000 when you buy by January 30th. Text MK to the number 989898 and claim your eligibility today. Again, text MK to 989898 now. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.